following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
Hello, I'm Jim Lampley. Coming up November 21, HBO pay-per-view will take you to the Mandalay Bay Events Center in Las Vegas for the long-awaited showdown between world middleweight champion Miguel Cotto of Puerto Rico and challenger Canelo Alvarez of Mexico. It's the latest in a historic line of high-intensity duels between Boricuan and Mexican superstars and a classic matchup of skilled boxer-punchers. So to help get you ready for Cotto versus Canelo, we're going to show you Cotto's most recent title defense against Australian former two-time title holder Daniel Geale in Brooklyn the night of June 6. It was Cotto's first appearance since having seized the lineal middleweight crown the year before against Argentina's Sergio Martinez, and his third fight with trainer Freddie Roach, architect of a stunning mid-career renaissance for the former lightweight and welterweight star. Wary of Geale's size advantage, Cotto negotiated a catchweight of 157. Geale struggled but made the weight, then ballooned overnight and walked to the ring at a bulbous 182. Here's how I called the action with Max Kellerman and Roy Jones.
Guys, we went over instructions already. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Miguel Cotto told us yesterday that the love for boxing has come back to him since he's been with Freddie Roach. When his eyes open in the morning, he has the thought, the harder I work, the better the future. The immediate future, should he win this fight, is Canelo Alvarez. And as you heard Daniel Geale say, he's going to try to spoil those plans.
Alvarez looked sensational just a few weeks ago against James Kirkland. So there's a prelude to what takes place tonight. Some fans will be looking to see, does Cotto answer back to Canelo with something equally as impressive as what Canelo was able to do against Kirkland? First punch of the fight is a hard Miguel Cotto left hook to the body, and that is his trademark shot.
A very good left hook to the body at that, Jim.
That's sort of like Miguel saying hello to an opponent. Well, you are in the ring with Miguel Cotto.
Well, he had to say hello early because this is a much bigger opponent. He came in weighing at the junior middleweight division, so he has to do something to let this bigger guy know that he must beware.
We told you about the unofficial weight for Geale and how much he was able to rehydrate overnight. We do not have an unofficial weight on Miguel Cotto. He has not been weighed other than at the weigh-in yesterday, 153.6. But a reasonable expectation is that he would have rehydrated maybe up to 160, probably not beyond.
Yeah, I don't know if it's obvious on television, because we have monitors here and it doesn't look as obvious on TV as live here. But Daniel Geale's size advantage is pronounced. I know Miguel Cotto's obviously the stockier guy, but Geale is a much bigger guy, it looks like here.
Yeah, it does, but Miguel Cotto also hurt Daniel Geale with that last body shot he hit him with. If you watch it, you saw that arm snatch back really, really quickly. Shows you that he has that respect already.
There's a left hook to the head by Cotto. Perfect short, tight shot inside that landed and also seemed to bother Daniel Geale.
I thought Cotto made his presence known with the very first punch of the fight, that left hook to the body. And he's also boxed pretty well here.
Cotto moving well on his feet. Lands another left hook, and Daniel Geale isn't going to be able to stop Miguel Cotto from landing left hooks. He will not have a chance to win the fight.
No, but he just landed a pretty good left hook of his own.
Cotto's ability to carry his punch up with him in weight has been impressive, both against Sergio Martinez, and you've seen some hard shots here tonight so far.
Well, that's the one thing about a good puncher in professional boxing. If you can punch, you pretty much can punch at any weight class.
Cotto landed another left hook inside. Geale's going to have to find a way to try to stop or elude Cotto's left hook. Getting hit with too many of them here in the first round.
Getting outboxed from the outside by the shorter fighter is not a good look for Geale early.
Geale with a three-punch combination, but the punches were glancing blows. Didn't land solidly.
And those body shots are already making Geale keep his hands at home more than he really wants to, because he can't afford to give up the left hook to the body.
And Cotto, as Geale favors his body, trying to stop that left hook downstairs, Cotto's landing jabs upstairs.
And Cotto also knows that he can swap a left hook for anything that Geale throws.
Good job, big brother. Yeah, boy. Okay, now the back of this guy really good with the jab and the combinations. Okay, let's press him a little bit more. Do not let him come to you. Okay, do not let him get off first. Okay, all right, that's the key. Okay, don't give him any momentum at all. All right, keep in charge behind the jab. All right, body head, good combinations. All right, beautiful combination, body and back to head. All right.
Here's when you know a punch has a good effect on your opponent. When you see this body shot land, you watch that right elbow snatch back just a second too late, though. The punch already did its damage, but you know it did damage because you saw that arm try to get back and block that spot.
Both fighters both fighters threw 41 punches by CompuBox count in round 1. Cotto landed 14, Geale landed 9. Unofficial CompuBox numbers in the first round.
You see the brilliance of Freddie Roach in the corner. Cotto had success boxing, but just because he can box doesn't mean he should. Freddie wants to see an aggressive, in-charge Miguel Cotto coming forward.
Doesn't want to let Geale get into the fight. That left hook hurt Geale.
Geale landed a good right hand, but Cotto hurt him back with the left hook.
And Freddie's doing a very smart job of that because you never let the guy get momentum, especially when he already has a size advantage on your fighter.
Cotto has a good left hook upstairs, always has. Has a good left hand, period.
And there's the great left hook to the body right there.
His body punch, his left hook to the body, has always been, when he's thrown it, one of the 3 or 4 most devastating weapons in boxing, in my opinion.
But for 3 or 4 years in the middle of his career, Roy Jones, that left hook seemed to disappear. What happened and how did it come back?
Well, he wasn't really setting it up. Guys were preparing for it, so he wouldn't throw it as much. When guys started looking for a punch, he seemed to not throw it as often. Freddie Roach came and said, look, if you're going to be the best Miguel Cotto, you have to use your best weapons, which are your left hook to the head and your left hook to the body. So he brought it back.
And he stopped Geale's momentum there with a jab. While Roy was speaking early in that sequence, you saw Cotto land another left hook to the body. So the money punch is back in a very big way for Miguel Cotto, as it was against Sergio Martinez, as it was against Delvin Rodriguez. That was obviously priority 1 for Freddie Roach, to put the left hook back into the arsenal. Geale touches the canvas with a glove, and referee Harvey Dock rules it not a knockdown.
So far what we're seeing is 2 different classes of fighter. Geale's a good fighter, always been a good fighter. But Cotto is of a certain class of fighter where he's been able, as Roy said, not only to carry his punch up, but success up with him from 140 to 47 to 54 to the middleweight division.
Well, if you're looking for Geale's deficiency coming in, it's difficult to define other than that there's no X factor. There's just no weapon for Daniel Geale, which can change a fight the way Cotto can change it with his left hook.
Well, his size may change it, Jim. You got to be careful here because he's doing a good job of moving around. Now he's avoiding the left hook better. He's big enough to absorb some of this punishment and last for a little while. He's naturally a very tough character. So if Cotto does not go ahead and discourage him and lets him get into this fight, we could see a change here.
How should Geale move to try to blunt Cotto's left hook?
He has to move to the right to stay away, to the left to stay away from it, to avoid it.
left.
Right then he moved to the right and ran right into it.
Good head movement, okay? When you land a decent hook or a right-handed, just turn it slightly, right? Take it to it.
Come on, Daniel!
CompuBox numbers in round 2. Cotto 18 out of 54. Geale 8 out of 37. So logic tells you that Miguel Cotto probably has already put the first 2 rounds in the book.
Cotto's doing a real good job, I think, tonight, blocking with his shoulders, Roy, slipping punches with very little extra movement.
He's showing a lot of defensive moves, great left and right shots to the body, but he's very defensive. He stays low when he punches. That's always a great thing. Good jab by Cotto.
Let's not forget that Cotto jab that lands like a power punch because he's naturally left-handed.
And that was the weapon that he used to neutralize the speed of Shane Mosley back in the day.
Maybe Cotto's greatest performance, a decision win over Mosley across the river in Manhattan.
When Mosley was still more or less in his prime.
On a night when CompuBox counted the two fighters landing an identical number of punches over a 12-round fight.
Could have gone either way, but, you know, no one was going to have a cakewalk with that Shane Mosley.
Well, I thought Cotto landed the more telling punches, is why I thought they gave it to him. But Shane was a very tough competitor at that time.
I believe the judges agreed with you on that, Roy. I believe he did get the decision by landing harder, more solid blows down the stretch of the fight.
Turned boxer late in that fight, but Freddie wants, especially the last 2 rounds, Freddie wants him to go back to aggressive fighter, throwing that hook to the body, and he by and large has been doing it tonight, although there have been plenty of stretches like this where he shows off his boxing skills.
Again, the left hook to the body. Again, Geale moves away after the punch.
But Geale has not proven yet that he really can hurt Cotto with one punch. So Cotto can do what he wants to do right now. He's still in a very comfortable envelope as he proceeds in this fight.
Hard left hook to the body by Cotto. Geale continuing to move to the right from time to time and put himself into position for Cotto to land that left-hand shot.
And he constantly lands it to the head and to the body.
It's just the amount of work he now puts into the body. Precise body shots. He's putting the money in the bank from round 1. And so those shots have a cumulative effect because it's 10, 12 shots hard with both hands to the body every round.
Left and right hand, like you said, Max. He just ran into a good overhand right there, though.
That's been Geale's best punch so far, is that right hand.
Moments ago, you saw the CompuBox number on the fly at the bottom of the screen, demonstrating that Cotto has now doubled Geale in terms of landed punches. Knocks Geale back into the ropes for the right hand. Fires the left hook to the body again. Melissa Cotto at ringside, along with the rest of the Cotto family.
Nice round, okay? Nice combinations again. All right, but now after the combinations, let's not get lazy and stand in front of him.
Right.
All right? Now head movement all the time, defense, all right? Good head movement, all right? Nice and loose, all right?
You need more punches, you know what I mean? You just too many single punches.
Any
Don't worry about
close
the
they're going to
missing
give you,
and all
that's
that.
all right.
You're going to miss. Don't worry about that. Don't get frustrated. Okay? Nice and tight. Yeah, right? Yeah. You can win this fight. Be a little more aggressive, throw some more punches, run in combinations. When you hit, don't be happy with one. Let your hands up and don't go one, have a look, go for the second one, gotta let them go. Yeah, that's right. Let's go, Miguel!
Geale listening intently to trainer Graham Shaw. Graham Shaw, I think, trying to relax Geale, speaking in a measured tone. You can win this thing. Hasn't seemed to be in position to win a round so far. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
I agree with you, Jim. 30-27, Miguel Cotto. You know, Jim, I love the way Miguel Cotto circles and sets up that left hook. I mean, we see the left hook. We're talking about the left hooks. Let's talk about the way he moves. I mean, he's using that ring beautifully. Circles to the left. Doesn't go back to the right too often, but he circles to the left, sets it up, then he moves inside, and bam, he throws that left hook. Really using the ring nicely. There it is.
Down goes Geale on a solid left-hand shot.
7, 8, 9. All right? You okay?
Well, the overnight weight gain may have been too little too late.
That was just a beautifully landed left hook, Jim.
Just sensational.
Low to the body like he's doing right now and came back up to the head with a beautiful left hook. Good body shots. The referee looking to stop it now.
Watching intently, and now Geale tries to fight his way out of it and goes down for a second time. That time on a counter right hand.
Listen to this crowd.
6, 7, 8. You okay?
And for the second year in a row, Daniel Geale tells a New York referee he's had enough in the ring. And Miguel Cotto has a 4th-round knockout victory.
None of these people are thinking about a catch weight, 157 pounds. All they can see, all they can think about is a devastating Miguel Cotto performance where he boxed beautifully throughout, and then when he needed to, threw the left hook like Joe Frazier.
A sensational performance by Miguel Cotto. His 3rd consecutive sensational performance under the care of Freddie Roach. And what a marriage this relationship between Cotto and Roach is turning out to be.
Has been the best, absolute best move that Cotto has ever made in his entire professional career.
And now let's go to the replays, Roy, and take a look at how Cotto closed the show.
Well, here you see he's on the attack. He goes low with the right hand and comes following up with the left hook right on the button. If he hits anybody with a hook that clean, they're bound to go down. This is not a wrap, but if he hits you with a hook that clean, you're bound to go down. That is his money punch right on the button.
And one of the great money punches in boxing. I mean, if you were to list the 5 biggest weapons in boxing, Miguel Cotto's left hook has to be on that list.
Yes, it does. It has to be on the list. Came back doing great body work here. Another good left hook to the head that he missed. But what's most impressive to me is that he also got a knockdown or scored a knockdown with the right hand during this time.
Well, this is when Geale decided he had to fight back.
And there's the right hand right there.
Cotto landed that counter right amid a Geale combination, and boom.
That shows you a whole lot about Cotto, shows you punching power in both hands, and that's a devastating thing to see in any good or great world champion.
A tremendous 4th-round knockout performance by Miguel Cotto. And there's the family celebrating in the front row at ringside. Miguel's mother reaching out to his brother, Jose, and there's the celebration by Cotto. Ring announcer Michael Buffer stands by with the particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Harvey Dock has to step in following the 2nd knockdown in round number 4. The end comes at 1 minute, 28 seconds of that round. The winner by TKO victory, victory number 40, knockout number 33, still the WBC middleweight champion of the world, Tejanos, Puerto Rico, Miguel Cotto.
A huge smile on the face of Melissa Cotto, and one of the bigger smiles that you'll ever see on the normally taciturn face of Miguel Cotto. Final CompuBox numbers, and this was statistically a wipeout, as you're going to see. Cotto landing twice as many punches as Geale, landing at a 37% overall rate, throwing 56 more punches than Geale in a little bit less than 4 rounds. Power shots, and Cotto landing only 39% of the power shots. Might have looked for a little bit higher percentage there, but when he got his left hook in gear and landed it in each of the 4 rounds, he hurt Geale every single time he touched him with the left hand. And CompuBox Punch Zone now shows us where the punches landed. And you can look over to the Daniel Geale side and see the 36 punches to the head, 19 of them on the right side of Geale's head. That's where the left jab and the left hook land. 18 punches to the right side of Geale's body. That's where the left hook to the liver lands. That's how Cotto devastated a much larger opponent. And now let's go to Max Kellerman in the ring with Miguel.
Congratulations, Miguel, on yet another sensational knockout performance. Seems like ever since you hooked up with Freddie Roach, the old Miguel Cotto is back. What is it like to score a knockout like that in New York City, where you scored so many memorable wins?
You know, being here after 10 hard weeks in LA, training with Freddie, and perform like that just make me feel like the Miguel from the 2000s, you know? 2010, 2000, 2004, and I feel good. You know, I said Freddie a couple of minutes ago. He is the best thing who ever happened to my career, and it is. He is the best thing ever happened to my career.
What is it about Freddie that's enabled you to rediscover this fighter, this guy who comes in and destroys opponents with left hooks to the body?
Freddie is a humble, simple guy who always came with his best, trying to get the best from you. And having that from him just made me be better every day.
Miguel, we all know you're able to box, and you were boxing very well in the first round. But when you got back to the corner, Freddie seemed to want to see some more aggression from you. What were you thinking at the end of that first round?
I just start to establish my own path of fighting, and I think we did it well. But Freddie just pulled me to get more and more. That's his style, and that's what I like about him.
Were you trying to set him up with the left hook upstairs? Because you went from boxing very smartly to looking like Joe Frazier with that left hook on the top.
I just tried to do my best. I caught him. I caught him with a really hard left hook, and I just wanted to repeat it again.
We'll show it to you. Here's the first one in the fourth round. You tell us what you see.
Was just moving to my left, and he just pulled his right hand down, and that was the perfect movement for my left.
How have you been able to carry the punching power up to middleweight? You have an opponent tonight who weighed in over 180 pounds in street clothes by the time he stepped in the ring tonight. Why do you think you've been able to carry your power up?
The smart way we've been working for my last 3 fights in LA with Geale and Miguel, with Freddie Roach, just make me feel like never before, you know? Make me want and ask for more every day and every day. That's the explanation.
So now it looks like in your immediate future, you haven't admitted it, but it seems like the worst kept secret in boxing, that Cotto and Canelo will happen before too long. What do you feel about a fight with Canelo Alvarez?
I had 44 fights in my whole career. Canelo going to be just another one, the new chapter in my career. But first of all, and before Canelo's fight happened, if people want to fight, I want to fight, everybody wants to fight, let's do it. But before that, I want to spend time with my family and want to enjoy time with them, and then after that, we'll be back in LA training for Canelo.
And this might be in the not as immediate future, but Gennady Golovkin is sitting here ringside, and you just fought a guy who he knocked out recently, and you look just as good knocking the same fighter out. Do you have interest in that fight?
Why not? You know, but we need to do our fights. Canelo sounds to be the next one, and after that, if Geale is available and if he wants to fight, I'm available too.
Lastly, you fought Sergio at 159 pounds, this at 157. Canelo would seem to be somewhere south of that. Are you a middleweight? Do you consider yourself a middleweight?
My weight yesterday was 53.6 pounds. Do you think I'm a middleweight?
Doesn't sound like it.
I'm not.
Thank you and congratulations, Miguel, on a spectacular performance. It's great to have you back. This is the Miguel Cotto we remember.
It's all about Freddie Roach.
Jim?
Geale's willing surrender was a replay of his departure the preceding year against Cotto's mandatory, Kazakh knockout sensation Gennady Golovkin. But Golovkin was given step-aside money to allow Cotto to fulfill the popular fans' wish for him to fight his Mexican counterpart, Canelo Alvarez. Since Canelo has been campaigning as a junior middleweight, and Cotto acknowledges he's not a full-sized middleweight, the fight is at a catchweight of 155, but still for the lineal 160-pound crown. It's boxing's marquee matchup of the moment. Cotto and Canelo, live from Las Vegas on HBO pay-per-view, the night of November 21.